What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mello. I think it's no secret that Black people have a long list of traumas stemming all the way back to slavery days. As we prepare to go into the new year of 2023, I think it's important to try to be mindful of generational curses and to try to break them as well. Here's my list of 5 generational curses to break. Number 1, we coming in hot. Whooping your kid, aka corporal punishment. Physically harming your kid has been a long generational curse in the Black community, and it takes on many forms. Black kids have been known to be beaten with many things: a belt, extension cords, switches off a tree, wooden spoons, and even sandals, and whatever else is in arm's reach in the moment. Worst case scenarios, some kids have even been beaten with closed fists. This is something that stems directly from slavery. What did Master do to the slaves when they didn't listen and got out of line? He beat them, right? Unfortunately, this is something many Black people will still practice and uphold to this day. Beating their children when they get out of line and they don't listen. As someone who grew up in the South and was beaten with a switch off the tree, I can't begin to describe the sheer terror and pain I had to endure at the hands of my stepfather. I mean, it was relentless. He made us take off all our clothes, underwear included. He plucked every leaf off the tree so that there was no cushion, and he beat us. Does that sound familiar? It's referred to as the whipping of slaves. They say knowledge is power, and the reason I believe so many Black parents beat their children is because they're unequipped with other methods of discipline. Now, back in college, I was majoring in the ECE field, early childhood education, and I learned a ton about children. Corporal punishment is heavily frowned upon in the ECE field, and they taught us other methods of how to deal with situations with children. One is to redirect them. Say your child is in an area or somewhere they're not supposed to be. Walk over to them, kneel down, and get on their level as to not intimidate them by standing over them, and explain why they shouldn't be in that area. In the process, also explain what areas are available to them and what areas they can be in. Children are very smart, and a little patience goes a long way with them. Another method they taught us is something called a natural consequence. Say your child is bouncing up and down on a chair and you've told them numerous times to stop. Well, the natural consequence to them jumping up and down on a chair is that they could fall, right? If it's in reason, and as long as your child can't get seriously injured, let that natural consequence play out. 9 times out of 10, your child will learn that them bouncing up and down on a chair results in them falling, and they probably won't do it again. Now, every parent is going to discipline their child as they see fit, but just know there are methods out there that work without the physical punishment of your child. Number 2, not seeking mental health services. As I stated earlier, Black people have a long list of trauma. Some of that includes depression and PTSD. A lot of Black people who live in rougher neighborhoods are more likely to see family and friends murdered in front of them. And a lot of young girls and boys are sexually assaulted as children, making it hard to cope and carry out everyday normal activities, also known as psychological distress. And what is psychological distress? Psychological distress describes the unpleasant feelings or emotions that you may have when you feel overwhelmed. These emotions and feelings can get in the way of your daily living and affect how you react to the people around you. Now, what causes psychological distress? It says psychological distress happens when you are faced with stressors that you are unable to cope with. These stressors could be traumatic experiences, major life events, everyday stressors such as workplace stress, family stress, and relationships, and also health issues. I feel it's important to be aware of these things because a lot of Black people walk around with undiagnosed mental health, and that can make it hard to function every day. One of the biggest challenges of Black people receiving mental health support is the stigma surrounding mental health. One study showed 63% of Black people believe that having a mental health condition is a sign of personal weakness. But we have to remember, we're human first, and mental health does exist. As I'm not clinically licensed to diagnose anyone with a mental health condition, it's very important to reach out to someone who can diagnose you so that you can get the support that you need. I also think it's important for Black people to stop seeking the church's help when it comes to mental health. As churches can provide spiritual guidance and support, they're just not equipped to support you in your mental health journey. And mental health has drastically changed. There are more options as far as people of color, and also people who have lived experience as well. There's therapists who's dealt with depression themselves, and therapists who are victims of sexual assault as well. It's important to find someone that you can relate to and someone you feel who can understand where you're coming from. I definitely encourage any Black people out there who feel that they may have mental health challenges to seek the support they need from a professional. Number 3 on the list, putting your child out when they turn 18. This ends up affecting a lot of Black people because at the age of 18, no one magically wakes up and knows how to adult. It's unfortunate because a lot of other cultures maintain their family bond and live together past the age of 18. As a parent, it's up to you to guide your child and teach them how to be an adult. So when they do turn 18, they have a better chance of making it in the world. When I worked in the mental health field, it was my job to teach and support youth independent living skills. And this varied by each youth and what they specifically needed. I taught a lot of youth how to get their driver's permit, so we studied the DMV manual together. I taught youth how to make a resume, apply for a job, and also we did mock interviews together so that they can get a glimpse of how real interviews could go. I also supported youth in applying for benefits like Social Security and food stamps, also public housing. I also helped and taught youth how to apply for college and also supported them in the process of filling out financial aid. Now, I always say, you will know if you succeeded as a parent when your child turns 18 and how prepared they are for the world. The things that I mentioned should be started at the age of 15 and a half so that your child has ample amount of time to actually learn them. I'm going to link a really good tool that I use when I work with my youth called a Casey assessment down below in the description box. What it does is it assesses your child's skills and what they currently know. And encourage your child to be honest, because the things that they don't know, that's what you know that you can support them with. The cost of living is only going up and it's only getting more expensive. And I encourage you to help and support your child until they're fully ready. Everyone deserves a fair shot at living. Number 4 on the list, the black man not being present in the family. While there are many different factors that go into this, a top one being mass incarceration, some black fathers being absent for their families is a plague that has plagued the black community since slavery days. Study shows that 64% of black mothers are single parents. That number is absolutely ridiculous, and I think that even if we can bring that number down a little bit, that'll be a step in the right direction. Closing out this list at number 5 is to stop glorifying violence in rap music. We've lost many rappers to violence just alone in 2022. And if they come for money, what does that say about the black people who don't? It doesn't matter your age or wealth status. Death does not discriminate. And rappers are only doing the black community a disservice by telling young black boys and men to slide on their ops and kill other men who look just like them. Remember how 64% of black mothers are single parents? What do you think black boys are turning to find a father figure? They turn to media, and in a lot of cases, they turn to rappers. What rappers fail to realize is that they are the fathers of the black community, especially to those black boys that don't have a father figure in their life. And if your father is constantly telling you to do drugs and kill others, then that's what those black boys are going to do. But hey, what do I know? These are just my black man thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up or thumbs down if that's okay too. Go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this video. What do you think about this list of black generational curses to break? Are there any other things you'd add to it? And as always, if you're not already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos as I do upload them weekly. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and a happy new year. Please be safe out there, and I'll catch you all in 2023. Take care.